If you're here, you probably are interested in retiring with privacy and quiet. If you'll notice, it's quiet. I'm going to spin this around so you can see where I am. I'm on my farm, my rented farm in Ecuador. This is my little space I call my church. All down there are cities, villages, little villages, just a few hundred people. And on this direction, it's subsistence farmers. Okay? Now, I'm not suggesting that I have the only answer. I'm suggesting that if you're on this with me right now, you've probably been looking on YouTube and you've probably listened to a lot of old farts like me about how they've either stayed in a home and in their own home and winged it, or they've had trips to stay with relatives or to stay in nursing homes. Now, I don't know about you, but my husband and I decided a long time ago that wasn't part of our lives. My husband is 85 years old. He's a Vietnam veteran. He has 17 diseases. He's suffered 3 heart surgeries, 4 heart attacks, and 5 strokes. And he's still in this little rental house in the back with a cane. Actually, he's got several canes. A little walker that the veterans use a lot, and a wheelchair, electric wheelchair. He gets around. I noticed last night he had a bit of a sunburn on his bald head and his forehead because he spent 15 minutes out in the sun getting his vitamin D. We have quiet. Yeah, how quiet it is. It's 7:45, and it's quiet. It's quiet because we live in Ecuador on rural land. But I'm not saying you need to move to Ecuador and live on rural land. I'm saying you need to look for alternatives. And alternatives are possible. I know because my husband and I have spent our entire time together, 34 years. What we've been doing is looking for alternative ways to live, easier on the environment and easier on our pocketbooks. Many people we know here live on Social Security alone. Now, most of them live in town because they really want the social life. That's not of an interest to us. I go in shopping once a week, and he goes in to meet a friend for lunch once a week, and that's it. I get a lot of social life online. I'm very, very active online. But my husband is unable to walk, and it's so much better just to be here and listen to the birds, listen to the chickens, and watch the dogs run around, and look at the flowers we keep planting, and bring in the fresh vegetables that we have and that an organic gardener does he's about a half a mile, maybe a mile away. He grows all kinds of organic food, and we buy from him. If you look and pay attention in the United States, and I'm sure this is true in other areas, because of climate change, there are farms that are not being farmed. Well, they usually have farmhouses. You know, one of the things about being an old fart is we usually have some kind of a history of what kind of folks we are. And if you can convince somebody to look at letters of reference, your resume, the former employers, whatever it takes, there's a good opportunity for you to get a place for even free. Who knows? Lots of people want their land taken care of. We know a couple here who live in an elegant place on a lot of land, and they have for several years, because the folks who were here built a beautiful home. It was supposed to be their dream home. One of them got sick and felt much better going back to the United States, so they got a free house to live in on a lot of land with beautiful fruit trees that they've got food to eat all the time. No problem. Because they were honest folks. And a lot of people here live on Social Security alone by renting apartments. You can rent an apartment for $250 a month with utilities and usually with internet, because internet isn't expensive here. In fact, nothing is. We have about 5 acres. We pay $500 a month guaranteed to the end of our lives for the rent. We have so many trees. Gosh, it's wonderful. I'm going to eat some more bananas today off the trees. The water bill is usually $3. The electric bill is very low. We have solar. I think the highest electric bill we've ever had was $35. But and that's really high. But that's because we have a gardener and he does a lot of things with electric stuff too. The health insurance for 2 of us, he's 85, and on my next birthday I'll be 80, is $99.21. That's for office visits, hospitalization, pharmacy, dental, and eyeglasses. That's through the government of Ecuador. My husband spent $13.90 when he had surgery, his last heart surgery. Included all the ambulances. I think he was in 4 ambulances altogether in 2 different hospitals, and the total bill was $13.90. You have to buy the insurance and hold it for 2 years without using it before you can start using it. That's the catch. But what are you paying in the United States? Our daughter's paying $1,200 a month, and she's not even 60 yet, and her husband's 13 years younger. So go figure. You can find places if you look, but you've got to turn the box upside down and read what it says. You can't just look for what everybody else is looking for. Our daughter tells us it's $2,000 a month to rent nothing. That's crazy. I go out to lunch, it costs me $5. It's $1.50 for my drink and $3.50 for a beautiful crepe filled with organic avocado and local cheese and organic tomatoes. And then they make a little chili sauce that goes, oh gosh, I love chili, but I was born in New Mexico, so maybe that's not your thing. But $5 for lunch? My daughter tells me that they often pay over $100 for lunch out at a restaurant. Outside, I like to sit outside. They have an indoor area too, but I like to sit outside. I'd love to be a part of nature. I'm a deep ecologist, so that's really special to me. But I have many friends here who are very happy on Social Security, and it's not easy. I don't mean that they're going out to the opera every night, but they're not. But they have a decent life and they have a guarantee of health insurance. So think about it. Look at other alternatives. Don't just give up because somebody said to you, oh, a nursing home is $11,000 a month. That's crazy. I've put out an article when we first moved here, $2,000 a month we were living on. That was in 2018. That's what our 2 checks were at the time. It's just very simple to look at other options. Now, Costa Rica has gone up. We know that. And I had a friend who recently went to Portugal. I've known a couple of people living in Portugal. But there are places in the United States. You just have to recognize that you can't have granite countertops and hot water. We have a on-demand water heater. We have solar power. I hang my clothes on the line to dry. And I'm getting wet right now because it started raining. But this is a rainy season. There's a rainy season and a dry season. But do you have a spot this quiet when you get up in the morning? When it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning, is it like this? We have a full-time caregiver. The average price for a caregiver here is $20 a day. If you want somebody who's bilingual and certified, it's going to be $10 an hour. If you want a regular nurse, ours is I call him the plant whisperer. He's the most amazing gardener you could ever imagine. You just have to turn the box over and look on the other side. We lived in Mexico for 6 years. For the place we rented was $150 a month. And we had to guarantee that we would do repairs of $100 a month. It was a 2-bedroom, 1 bath on a hectare. That's 2.43 acres. We had a barn, and we had a tack room, a big riding area. We had horses, we had our dogs. And we moved there in 2018. You have to look outside the box. Turn it over and look underneath. You can't just go to the local real estate office and ask for some help and tell them, oh, I'm retired and I don't want to go to a nursing home where they tell me when to eat and what to eat and how to eat and where to sit and how to be quiet and boss me around, tell me when to go to sleep and when to wake up. We do what we want. We live the way we want, how we want, with our animals, with our friends, with a caregiver, with trees. We planted 15 trees yesterday. There won't be shade for us, but there'll be shade for somebody. There'll be food for somebody because every one of the trees had something edible. Yeah. So think outside the box. Think about how you want to live. Do you want quiet? I hear a motorcycle now, way off in the distance. And I do mean way off and down below. Noise comes up. But there is a motorcycle. Once in a great while, I hear a car go by, but the gate is about, from where I sit right now, about 1,500 feet away, the main gate to the road. And they're getting ready to pave the road. They're going to pave it's been a dirt road all this time. So in a developing country, there are issues. Of course there's issues. We have 2 internet services because sometimes one of them goes out. That cost me a total, let's see, one's $28 and the other's $45. Elon Musk is $45 because he's StarLink, the one up there. But most things, doctor visits are $30. Vet visits, $5. $5. Our daughter just went to the vet with her cat 2 months ago, $1,200. A month ago, $600. They still don't know what's wrong with it, for sure, with the cat. They think it's an ear infection, but they're not sure. $1,800, and they think it's an ear infection. I have 2 dogs. That one was really, really sick 2 months ago, and the doctor told me exactly what to do about Rocky Mountain spotted fever. She's doing great. I had her blood tested yesterday, and it's almost back to normal. So you just have to look around. You just have to agree that, and maybe you can't. Maybe it doesn't work for you. Maybe the idea of living in rural, like, oh my God, I could never do that. I want one of those beepers, and I want bars on my windows. And there are bars on these windows. I'll show you. Turn around. See? There are bars on the windows. Because it's a rental, and people don't want to take a chance when it's empty that somebody would break in. And all that, those bags you see, that's all for growing. We grow all the time. It's really fun. We get to have flowers. See the flowers behind there? It's all kinds of flowers all over here. Bougainvillea and Mexican sunflowers and marigolds every place. What do you want? Write down what you want and what you don't want. And I'll just bet you don't want somebody to tell you when to go to bed. Don't tell somebody tell you when to get up. When you can eat and when you can't, and how to make your bed, and what window you can look out, and where you can sit. Man, I got to tell you, my next birthday is 80, and I don't want anybody telling me anything. I want to make my own decisions about my life, about how I live, who I live with, and what I do. Now, my caregiver is getting ready to come up the corner. I'd like you to see him, so you'll know that I'm telling you the truth. He's a young man of 26, comes on a motorcycle. He lives about 2 miles away, and he's great with the dogs. There's 2 dogs. There's a white one over there, and there's this brown one right here. And they're both waiting on him because they're just absolutely crazy about him. He's been with us for almost 5 years. He's like having a grandson, and we love him to death. He has a family of about 50, even though he lost his mother when he was 5 and his father when he was 7, both to car wrecks. His grandfather comes with him. His grandfather's raised grandfather and grandmother and older sisters raised him. He's a wonderful, honest, hardworking young man who I say is like a grandson. And that you can get here too. You can also pay $10 an hour and have a totally, now this young man is bilingual. He wasn't when he came here, but he's bilingual now. He's smart. He wanted to learn English, and so he did. And now he translates for us too. And he can fix electricity or plumbing. If you can name it, he can probably fix it. It's just unbelievable what he does around here to make our lives easier, and how much care he pays for my husband to make sure he's okay. And he'll do anything inside the house too. He'll help me with anything I need. Here he comes. Oh, the dog's all excited. Oops, they're supposed to go in their cage when he comes, because anybody that drives up here, they're supposed to know to stay away from the driveway so that they don't get hurt. And there he is. See? So think outside the box. If you've got a question, ask me a question down below. And if you go down below, please take a look at our nonprofit for what we've done over the years in the United States, Mexico, and Ecuador. I'll answer any of your questions. And you can, when you're down there, take a look at the art that we have to remind you to take care of the earth. Thank you.